The first message came while I was standing at the Cancun airport gate, passport in hand, wondering why the boarding agent looked at me like I was an idiot. "Sir," she said gently, "your flight was changed yesterday." I blinked, confused. "No, that's impossible. My wife and I—" She cut me off, showing me the manifest. My wife's name was there. Mine wasn't. At first, I thought it was a mistake, some glitch or misunderstanding. But then my phone buzzed. A message from her. Asterisk Elmo. You're a kill me face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy. I changed your flight as a prank. You were snoring. And I thought it'd be funny to see your face when you realize I left first. Don't be mad. It's hilarious. Asterisk. I just stood there, surrounded by strangers rushing to board flights home. The world went quiet. She had left me in another country as a joke. And at that exact moment, something in me stopped reacting. I didn't shout. I didn't curse. I didn't call her. I just felt clean, cold, because I realized she had no idea what she'd just done. When I met her, she was chaos wrapped in charm. The kind of woman who laughed too loud, lived too fast, and made you believe love should feel like adrenaline. I was the opposite, structured, deliberate, calm. A systems analyst who planned everything. Vacations, investments, even birthdays. She used to joke that she brought color to my grayscale world. I thought that was a compliment. Our relationship was always uneven. She played, I fixed. She spent, I earned. She tested limits. I forgave them. I told myself her impulsiveness was energy, her immaturity just youth. But deep down, I knew she never took anything seriously, especially not me. Still, I love her enough to keep trying. Until Mexico. That trip was supposed to be our reset. Beaches, laughter, a new start. Instead, it became the moment she handed me my freedom on a silver platter and called it a joke. When I returned to the hotel after missing the flight, I noticed something. She hadn't just changed my flight. She'd used my card to pay the penalty fee. She laughed about it later. "You'll get the points back," she texted. Her messages kept coming that night, each one more detached from reality than the last. Asterisk, come on, babe. Lighten up. You can just book the next one. I'll pick you up at the airport. I'll make it up to you, winking face, asterisk. The next morning, she posted a photo, a cocktail by the pool. Caption, "Solo travel hits different face with tears of joy, hashtag independent woman." That was the moment it stopped being a prank. It was a performance. A public humiliation disguised as humor. And it told me something vital. She didn't just take me for granted. She thought I'd never leave. That was her mistake. Because I didn't confront her. I planned. I stayed in Mexico, checked out a resort, found a quiet rental in Merida with reliable Wi-Fi and a lockbox for my passport. Then I started working. Not emotionally, strategically. Step 1. I contacted the airline, requested full records of every change made under my booking, her email, IP address, timestamps. Proof she'd altered the itinerary. Step 2. I called my bank, reported unauthorized use of my card for the flight change. Fraud claim filed. The joint account frozen immediately. Step 3. I logged into our home security system, disabled her access, changed the locks remotely. She didn't even notice. Step 4. I reached out to Susan, my assistant. Efficient, kind, quiet. She'd seen the cracks in my marriage long, before I admitted them. When I told her what happened, she didn't laugh. She just said, "You don't deserve that." Something about the way she said it stayed with me. Step 5. I drafted a message that would end everything. But I didn't send it. Not yet. When I finally flew back home, on my ticket, she greeted me at the airport like nothing had happened. Bright smile, open arms, sunglasses perched on her head. "There's my husband," she said loudly, like we were a power couple reuniting after a romantic misunderstanding. I nodded, expressionless. "Oh, come on," she laughed, hugging me. "Don't be mad. It was a prank. You know I love you." "Yeah," I said quietly. "I know." That night, I let her talk, let her turn her apologies into excuses. "You're too serious," she said. "I just want to see how you'd react." Everyone thought it was funny. I listened, smiled once. That scared her more than yelling ever could. The next morning, while she slept, I moved every cent from our accounts into a private one. Investments, assets, gone from her reach. The joint savings she depended on was left with $1,752. Then I left. For 7 days, I didn't answer her calls. Not one text, not one voicemail. By day 3, where are you? By day 5, I'm worried about you. By day 6, asterisk, please come home. I'm sorry, asterisk. By day 7, who is Susan? That was when I sent it. Asterisk, thanks for this. Susan has been the sweetest. Asterisk. 71 calls followed. I didn't answer a single one. When I finally saw her again, it wasn't at home. It was in a lawyer's office. She walked in furious, face flushed, hands trembling. You're divorcing me over a joke? No, I said calmly. Over pattern. She tried to speak, but I slid a folder across the table. Screenshots, bank statements, flight records, unauthorized transactions, proof of fraud. Her jaw tightened. You wouldn't. I already did. Her lawyer scanned the papers, realizing how airtight it all was. I'd been meticulous. I leaned back in my chair. You want a story to tell your friends? Here it is. The woman who thought leaving her husband stranded was funny, until she realized he was the only thing keeping her afloat. She stared at me, shaking. You planned this from the moment I changed that flight. The silence that followed was heavier than any scream. She moved out 2 weeks later. The house felt quiet, not lonely, just real. Susan stopped by once to drop off some files. We ended up sitting by the window for hours, not talking about love. Not yet, just peace. When people ask what happened, I don't tell them everything. I just say, Mexico changed everything. Sometimes revenge isn't fire, it's withdrawal. It's refusing to explain yourself to people who thought you'd always wait, always forgive, always come home. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't post anything online. I just stopped giving her access to my money, my time, my silence. The last message she ever sent said, you didn't have to destroy me. I didn't reply, but I thought about it, about how destruction looks different depending on where you're standing. For her, it was losing control. For me, it was finally regaining it. That night, I stood on my balcony, warm wind brushing my skin, the city alive beneath me. I thought of the airport, the gate, the boarding pass without my name, and I smiled, because the real prank was this. She thought she left me behind, but in the end, I was the one who never came back.